Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Foreign Affairs Editor of Sky News, Ms. Deborah Haynes, and Defence Editor for The Economist, Mr. Shashank Joshi.
Very much for joining us here today. We are delighted to have you here at this third iteration of NATO Engages, marking 70 years of the Alliance's history. Now, the most important thing for us today is to bear in mind this is a town hall event. This is not a crusty think tank event where we are going to bore you with panel after panel for hours on end. If that happens, just start booing and Debs and I will rescue you on the stage immediately.
Yeah, as Shashank said, this is all about NATO engaging with a wider audience, and for you, the audience, to engage with us, to learn more about what NATO is and why it matters. And we're having this event as leaders arrive in London for this summit. So if they decide to engage, such as President Trump on Twitter, then we can share that with you, and you can share your thoughts with us. We're going to take you through why NATO matters by looking at its past and also thinking about its future. We're going to be hearing from individuals who will be talking about key events that meant something to them, such as the invoking of Article 5 for the first time after the September 11 attacks. In terms of now, we're going to be looking at how NATO is adapting for current threats, including the Russia challenge, the challenge of great power competition, which means the rivalry between big global powers such as China. And we're also going to be looking at the future, with NATO about to enter the space domain, NATO even thinking about climate change, and NATO also looking at disruptive technologies and asking how that changes the very nature of war.
We are very grateful for all the speakers today, but we also know we have a very accomplished audience, equally talented in your own fields as anyone here on the stage, and we're particularly grateful to have non-traditional security voices, the sorts of people who may not focus day in, day out on the bread and butter of NATO issues. But first, we'd like to thank our consortium partners, those who have helped organize this event today: the Atlantic Council, GlobSec, King's College London, the Munich Security Conference, and the Royal United Services Institute.
We'd also like to thank our institutional partners. There is a long list of them, but it's important that they all get a mention. So they're the British International Studies Association, the Brookings Institution, the Coalition for Prosperity, Elcano, the European Council on Foreign Relations, the German Marshall Fund, Global Focus, the International Institute for Strategic Studies, the International Centre for Defence and Security, bear with me, Jagello 2000, the Leonard Merry Conference, LSE Ideas, the New Strategy Centre, the Polish Institute of International Affairs, RAND Europe, nearly finished, Foundation for Political, Economic and Social Research, and Women in International Security.
And that's all we have time for today. Thank you. Okay, sorry. I will also thank our media partners who are bringing this event to the wider audience, the wider world. That's Defence News, NBC News, and Wired UK. And I thank our sponsors who've made all this possible: BAE Systems, Improbable, who we'll be hearing from later in the day, General Atomics, and the German Federal Foreign Office.
Now, why did you want to come here today? It's to listen to a really exciting lineup of speakers. We've got heads of state and government, we've got ministers, we've got military chiefs, and we've even got a superstar Afghan singer.
What we're really keen on is active audience engagement today as we tackle these issues. We'll have a number of formats. We'll have small town hall type discussions, but we'll also have spotlights on particular specialist issues by experts and specialist speakers. And we'll have storytelling sessions where people talk about how NATO has affected them in very personal ways over the years.
This whole event is being live streamed, so if a camera points in your direction, give it a wave to people back home. And you can also engage by using social media, Twitter or Facebook. It's #NatoEngage.
That means you Russian trolls as well.
And really importantly, if you haven't done this already, can you please pick up your mobile phone? I've done this, and I'm useless with technology, so you can all do it. If you look in your app store, you can find the NATO Engages app. if you can download that, this is the way for you, not only by sticking up your hand and asking questions, but for you to be able to engage with our panelists and our speakers, and also for them to engage with you by posing questions to you for you to answer.
All right, we're going to warm you up, so please open the app. We'll actually test whether you've done this now, if you followed instructions well. Open the app up. We have a couple of vitally important questions for you to test how this works.
There's a lot of people looking at their phones. This is positive.
Yep, okay, all right. And could we please have the first question up on the screen, please? And if not, you'll see it on the app. Okay, I'll read it out to you. What's the best part about being here in London? I'm going to give you a few seconds to reply. We're not seeing it on the screen, but we've given you a few options. It's a multiple choice question. What's the best part about being here in London? Is it the tea? Is it the rain? Is it delays on the Piccadilly line? Is it the NATO leaders meeting? We're not seeing it on the screen, but I'm trusting that the technology is doing its work and generating results for us as we speak. And if we're not getting them now, we'll get the results a little bit later. I'm sure you're all itching to hear how we feel about the capital. We also have another question for you. In recent weeks, there has been, none of you will have missed the pretty vigorous public debate from different member states about the strategic future of the alliance. What should it focus on? Where should its priorities lie? Has it allocated resources in accordance with the challenges it faces? So we'd like to get your view on this at the beginning of the day, and we'll see how this changes. Could you tell us, please, in your opinion, what should NATO's main focus be in the future? Should it be deterrence against major power competitors? Should it be countering terrorism? Should it be securing stability in conflict situations around the world? Securing democratic and liberal values against other state models? Or all of the above? And you should be able to see those options on your phone now. So please vote. We'll give you a few seconds, and we will come back to the results, and I will tell you how this room breaks down, and we will, no doubt the Secretary General later on will be paying very close attention to your strategic guidance to him.
Thank you, Shashank. I hope that was clear. So that's enough of the housekeeping and the explanations.